Eminem, what he did this time.
And we wanna go back. Eminem is many people's favorite rapper of all time. He is the biggest selling, the most streamed. I mean, Eminem is he's a mega star, all right, in hip hop, and he's got a funny relationship with hip hop because while he's so popular, there's a certain segment of hip hop who also does not respect him. And then there's always these debates: who's more impactful, all this stuff. We talked about that recently. So we wanted to just go ahead and review some of his music. You know, starting from when he came out, his first debut album, the Slim Shady LP, and we wanted to talk about it and just say, our honest opinions after listening to it again. So like and subscribe and let us know, what you think of the album after we go through it. So first off, what were your thoughts of this album before re-listening to it?
I don't remember this track list on this album for sure. Because growing up, I just digested like all Eminem albums at once, like kind of like it was a phase. Like one
Mm-hmm.
summer, just heard all Eminem songs, so didn't have a perspective of which songs went on what albums. But this album had a lot of hits that I forgot about.
All right.
Not that I forgot about, because his music is always so prevalent, but I didn't know they were on this album.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. B, what,
I
what were
was
your
a
thoughts about
I
this?
was a freshman in high school when this album came out. I think I was a freshman, so I remember a lot of the songs, but I had forgotten about I haven't listened. I don't listen to this album except for maybe one song that remains one of my probably my favorite Eminem song. But we'll talk about that when we get to it. But I didn't think about a lot of this stuff in years and years and years. So it was interesting to re-listen to it. When this album came out, I was in my teenage, like I said, a freshman in high school, so I'm like 13, 14 years old. So I would be mad at my mom or mad at my parents, and they had parental
Yeah.
drama. So this type of stuff would be like cool, man. It's like, all right, this is the same mood I'm pretty much in. Not the stuff about like killing your parents, but a
Yeah.
toned down
Yeah.
version of that teen angst.
Right.
So the Eminem stuff really kind of fit at that time. So I didn't think that I would enjoy it very much listening to it now as an adult.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, this album is like teen angst in a bottle, but also I thought it was gonna be because when I think of Eminem, I think of the angry teen angst stuff, and so my thing is I forgot how much like comedic, like just like silly stories he's telling throughout the album. 80% stories and like 20% tracks just rapping, and
Hmm.
I always enjoy story tracks personally, but I just didn't, I just didn't remember all of them. Really. So let's get right into it. My name
I hate
is
every skip on this album. I mean, skit on this album.
okay. Well, yeah, let's that be clear. I hate
So
all
public service
Eminem's.
announcement. Yeah, like
Hmm.
these skits not it. Um, my name is just an overplayed. It's hard to enjoy it now to me. If I ever did, I don't know if I ever did really, but I know right now I ain't trying to hear hi, my name is. You know,
I love it. My name
it's
is
it's still
to
Yeah,
this
funny
I
though.
like
day.
it.
It's
I
funny.
think it's funny. Yeah, I
It
think the
still
song's
hits to
funny.
this day to me. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's not overplayed for me at
But
all.
everybody
I
knows
like
my
my
I
name
name
don't.
is.
Everyone knows the
Yeah.
song, but I don't like. It's not like I go outside and I hear the song. I don't. I mean, I don't know.
It's played
I mean,
pretty
it's not something that
frequently.
they
Like,
play in the Publix while you shopping.
Right,
So
that's what I'm saying. So
yeah.
it's not that type of song. So I never hear like if you were to tell me the songs that I hear of Eminem all the time, it's like "Lose Yourself" or something like that. But I don't go out and hear this song. So when I played it, it was really I was like I haven't heard this in forever. I knew of it, of course, I knew of the song, but I just
Hmm.
hadn't heard it in a very very long time. Yeah. So um, yeah, I enjoyed it. I like it. I think it's funny. Now I also listened to this album with my wife as well, and there's a lot of. I mean, he says a lot of problematic stuff, right? But and so I was kind of like looking over at my wife, and she was like laughing at a lot of the stuff they said, and I said, why do you like Eminem? you know, like, I'm surprised. Why would you like Eminem? And she's like, I like that he says stuff that like no one would ever say. You know, like, you know, that he's saying just wild stuff. And she thought that's funny. And then and then, you know, we watch According to Hip Hop. You know, we've talked about them before, but Coop was on, you know, one of the lives recently, and he was, Mike D is the number one Eminem hater, you know. So, one of the girls that was just off camera, you know, with Coop was saying that she enjoyed Eminem too, and I'm, you know, shocked, you know. But it makes sense, of course. I mean, he sells that many records. There's got to be women that are listening to his records. Lots of them, not just a few.
For sure.
Like a lot of them. You know, so
and we'll get into some of the ones that I love, and like, you know, I like them for the same reasons. Just My Name Is, I feel like when this song came out, boy, you can go nowhere without seeing this jump on TV. I'm like, My Name Is, you know, the joke was funny. It's a funny song, man. You know,
yeah,
but it's annoying. It's not something you put on in your car.
What do you think of the beat?
I think the beat is.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting. It's kind of funny. It's not like any other beat.
Yeah.
So,
and he said that this is the first one he did when he got with Drake, right? Like Drake, he came into the studio and Dre had already had this record, like this beat picked out for him, which just seems bizarre because it's a bizarre beat.
Yeah. And then you got Guilty Conscience.
Yeah.
That's a classic. That's a great song.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very problematic.
Great song, great concept.
Verse, but it's a
great concept. Oh no. Well, I mean, it's supposed to be problematic. I mean, that's the point.
Yeah.
Or I guess that's the point of Eminem's bars. So I love it, man. I mean, that's a great song.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody can hit on that one.
Yeah. Brain Damage is probably my favorite. I love Brain Damage.
It's not my favorite, but it's good. Yeah.
I mean, not like of the stories. I like, there's other songs that I like more, but other stories, this is my favorite.
It's good.
Uh-oh.
What was that?
Yeah. So I like Brain Damage, and then there's a skit that's terrible. All right. If I Had, I like a lot. You see, and this is part of the thing I feel like is, you know, when people talk about Eminem, you know, they say, you know, it's all, you know, whatever, you know, silly, and there's nothing serious. But like, I think there's a few songs on here where he is like, you know, has a very, you know, relatable attitude, you know, relatable, you know, rhetoric, you know, and stuff like that. And I think this is one of them, for sure. This is one of my favorites here on this album. And then 97 Bonnie and Clyde is a skip to me.
I don't like the song really, but I think it's a good song.
I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a song talking about him and his daughter. He got a lot of like jokes though in it. So
no, it's a song where he's killing his wife.
And
one of them.
But it's him and his daughter living.
It's him and his daughter.
Yeah.
So again,
and then he's just talking to his daughter, you know, in the baby voice.
And it's funny. It's funny when he does it. And it's funny when he says stuff about, "Oh, don't worry about mommy," and I'm like, "This dude funny, man. Like, this sick. It's sick, but it's fun." You know what I mean? Like, I laugh at that.
Yeah.
But then you get into my favorite songs. Of course, skip this stupid skit. These skits are so bad. But Role Model is probably my favorite song.
Role Model, yeah.
I love Role Model. Yeah. All right. That song has so many funny lines in it.
Yeah.
I be cracking up the whole time.
Okay. Yeah. I like Role Model a lot, but it's not my favorite. Yeah.
And is that the one where he says, "I hit the trees harder than Sonny Bono"? That is one of the most messed up bars of all time.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious still. And it's wrong, you know, sorry, you know, that your man's went out that way, Sonny Bono, but that is funny, man.
Yeah. I
don't think that bar gets enough credit.
Yeah.
That's a bar. And it's messed up all at the same time.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. No, it is funny. It is funny. I like that song. So we haven't, I mean, I guess you haven't gotten a skip track yet then.
The skits, I gotta skip all these skits.
Well, yeah, of course. The track, but the songs. What about My Fault?
I love that song.
I never gave you mushrooms, girl.
That joke is hilarious. It's so funny. I forgot I
Yeah,
completely forgot about how much I thought the song was funny.
yeah.
So I heard it, and my wife was sitting there, and she was like, "I forgot all about it." I was like, "I know, I haven't heard this song in forever." And I
Yeah,
was cracking up, like all the different stuff that the girl happened to her and stuff. And he was talking
yeah.
about how she did the drugs wrong, and
Yeah, he's just trying to get somebody to help the whole time.
yeah,
He's like,
I was
he's gonna die, dude.
I was like, that's funny.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was cracking up sitting here listening to it, and I was like, man, I haven't heard this in forever. So
I had to skip
I
that
really
one.
like this song.
All right. So then my thing is okay. So before we're getting as we're going through, before we like we'll stop here in the middle. Like, how is this? Is if it's all jokes? I think there's a sense that some people don't want to listen to jokes or like hip hop's not supposed to be funny.
Oh, that's cap. You can't say hip hop stuff would be funny if humor is a part of life of any culture. Like what? Like that
Yeah.
doesn't make sense to me. Now you could say you prefer people that are serious, and that's fine. That's fair. But you can't tell me that hip hop would be funny. This has funny songs in hip hop forever.
Right. No, that's what especially when we go back and listen to his 80s music. I mean, like the Run DMC, like the Return 30 Days song or the Steve Martin
Yo,
song on the
Rapper's Delight
EPMD.
has a whole verse about going to someone's house and the
Yeah.
dinner is there.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
even though that song's like 8 minutes long or whatever, or
Yeah.
20 minutes long, however long it is, but it jokes in songs is not like
But I
some
think it
kind of
was more prevalent in the 80s, and then in the 90s for some reason it got very
Redman was
serious.
always hilarious, and that's a
Redman
huge
is funny.
influence on Eminem.
Yeah,
And
Redman
that's
is
one of
funny.
the people he would say is his favorite. Didn't he put him in the top five in his song? Reggie,
Yeah.
Jay Z,
Hmm.
Tupac.
He's
Yeah,
number
Reggie.
one. Number
So
one. Yeah.
exactly. So if he loves Redman and Redman is hilarious,
Hmm.
the Redman's best stuff has a bunch of funny lines.
Yeah.
You can see where he's getting this stuff, and the thing about it is too, the stuff is of the time. Um, so the jokes that he's making about the different like the drugs and stuff are they're very they're timely. The stuff that just happened. Sonny Bono had died, hit the tree. So it's like this type of stuff it was timely at that time. Now, of course, now listen back, it's funny. It's like a time capsule to me.
Yeah.
And like I said, me and my wife felt the same. We were like, dang, like I forgot about this. I remember where I was when we used to listen to this. I would be messed up at somebody's house or at a party. And it was like, yeah, it's like that's exactly what what this type of stuff is.
All right. Okay. Yeah. No. So, all right. Then let's get back into it. Come on, everybody.
I don't like that song.
Like that. I think the same he uses the same beat on the Marshall Mathers LP and it's a better song. So I didn't really like this one. I think it's the worst version of it. But Rock Bottom is my favorite song,
Rock Bottom good.
and that's a serious song. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
again, that's a serious one. I like it. But I don't see how if you want a more serious Eminem, like here, like is it? And then I think he's great on it. I think and like I said, he's expressing this. And If I Had are the two serious tracks. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
on the album, and I think they're both great. So I think he definitely can do the non funny, just rap about my life and be relatable. I think he can do that too. So.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about that, after we get through the songs. But he really had, it's your first album or your first major album. I know Infinite is a thing, and we didn't really talk about that one, but as far as his big time debut album, you got a lot to say. You got a lot of things that you can say in a way that this happens for most artists. The first album, they have a lot of things to say about their life that they do a good job of letting you know who they are.
Yeah, and that's what's so interesting about this one being all stories though too, because he only uses like those two tracks to talk about his life, and then it's also weird. Clearly I could see that clearly some singles came out before because he spent some of the songs like the next song, just don't give a f. He's like responding to other people's already criticisms.
Mhm.
And so I thought that was interesting. I don't know the timeline, what singles came out when and when the album came out, but he clearly was already responding. Because the second album, we'll get there another time, is all him like responding to critics almost.
Yeah, and it's just different too the way albums were rolled out back at that time. It was like your single would come out months in advance before the album would drop, and so
You're right. I just didn't think about that. I didn't think about that at all. That's so bizarre to me because I'm just used to. I don't even listen to singles. Like I don't listen to singles. If you drop a single, I'm not listening to it. I'm waiting till your album come out. I want to listen to the whole thing altogether.
and a lot of times now the single will come out and it's like 2 weeks later the real album's out anyway. Now, a
Exactly.
lot of people drop. I mean, they might
Exactly.
have a Lucy, but they're not dropping too many singles to build up
Yeah.
anticipation for an album that's months away. Well, that's
Yeah.
when you had to go to the store and buy it, though. It's just a very different time.
No, it's true. Okay. So then, as the world turns, I like.
It's cool. It's fine.
Yeah, I was just about to say it's cool.
Yeah. I'm Shady. I don't like.
No,
Yeah.
I agree.
And then Bad Meets Evil is great. I think Royce
Yep.
is great on this.
Yep.
Definitely Royce. I think has the better verses.
Yeah.
And then, and that was another thing. Eminem raps slow on this album. I feel like we get him credit for the whole like fast, rapidy, a bunch of syllables rapping, but he raps slow on this album. And Royce on this song is the one rapping fast.
Yep.
And then Eminem comes in and raps slow. So I wonder who influenced who in that sense. But everyone always calls Royce the Black Eminem or something like that. People or they call Eminem the white Royce or whatever. Royce the 5'9". If he was black, he would just be Royce the 5'9", and he wouldn't have blown up. But I don't think that's the case at all. This album blew up, and he's not rapping fast on it. Like I don't really get that narrative. Where did that narrative come from?
I mean, people be mad at Royce because he always defends the dude because they're legit buddies. Who said they're really good friends. We can talk about it after we're done, but I just think Eminem at this point was really focused on making great songs, and I think now he's just kind of bored. And so when he goes to rap, he really is out trying to really outdo himself in a way, and so he's competing against. I don't even think he's
A ghost.
yeah. So he feels like he has to do the things to something that's going to be difficult for him because rapping is not hard for him. Dude is super skilled.
Yeah. All right, then. Still don't give a F. I also like.
I'm cool with it. I don't love it.
Okay, so you like the first one, but not the second one.
It's cool. I don't. I like the first one. The second one's cool. It's whatever.
Okay, all right. So then overall, you had. I mean, you skipped my name is, and you didn't skip 97 Body in Class. So you just skipped.
No, I don't really want to hear that again. I just didn't. I mean, like just listening to it again, giving that album a full, real listen. When I heard it, I wasn't mad. I knew it was coming, and once it came on, I knew what it was. It was like I don't know how to describe it, man. When you know an album's super good and then don't listen to it forever, it's funny to when you turn it on. It's like as soon as it starts, you're like, I know the song. I know these songs,
Mm-hmm.
all the way through. But I don't listen to it. I never turned a lot of these songs on, and when they came on, I was surprised. I was like, "Oh, I remember. I love the song. The song is great." But I don't listen. I don't listen to that album.
So then you feel like, well, Bryce, what did you think of the album? I mean, just overall. Now, I mean, now that we're through with it, what you think of the album overall?
I'm rating it today. I'm giving it like a 7.
Okay.
It's cool, better than average. It's got some hits on it. It's a classic it's a legendary album, I should say. I don't know if it's a classic to me, but it's a legendary, iconic album. But it's just cool. I mean, all Eminem albums kind of follow the same thing to me. He's gonna have some songs where I think he goes too far. He's too wild over the edge. Some really good rapping on some songs, and then some I'm just cool about. I don't care either or.
So, because what were
Yeah,
the tracks that you felt like were skips? I don't think this is all Eminem albums at all. I think this is really just. Yeah, I don't think his new album. I don't think he has any album in the 2000 since 2010, or I don't really know when his last good album came out. But he doesn't have a single album in the past 15 years that is as good as this one.
And he'll have a funny line or two, but he don't have funny songs like this. To me, like I don't listen to
Mm.
his new stuff and be laughing like this.
Not at all.
Well, no song makes. I mean, no Eminem song makes me laugh. I don't think of it like
Not
that.
these. These didn't make
Um,
you laugh.
nah, I don't think of him like that. I think of him. That's kind of why I like him. I just feel like he says his feelings in the most blunt kid way, like he's kind of throwing a tantrum.
Mm.
He just don't give a F. So that's the way I see it. I mean, I'm sure he, like I said, I don't think he's being serious. He really wants to kill these people. I'm sure he is joking, but it's just not funny to me. It's just like just being over exaggerating. So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just
yeah.
take it as that personally.
Yeah, I mean, he
But that's
says
why I
that
like
clearly he's joking.
it. He's out of the box. I like that. I just
Okay.
don't think it's funny.
Oh
All
man, I
right.
think it's funny, man. What he said, I tie a rope to my penis and jump from a tree. I was like, this dude's stupid, man. What the hell? Like,
Yeah.
what?
Mm.
That's why I still
But
laugh at role model, man. That joke be cracking me up, man.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of the songs are funny. I think, like I said, I think Brain Damage is
Yeah, brain damage is
a
brain damage
favorite of
is.
mine. As far as just comedy, I mean, it's just a silly song to me. Um,
I think there was a lot of jokes in hip hop, especially in the '90s. It just wasn't as silly of a manner as Eminem stuff is.
No, I mean
Like
it's
it,
different. Yeah, he's in a much more animated mode. I mean, and that's him.
yeah,
That's what makes him unique. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
so I'm not I'm not mad at that. I think this is the best version of him, even though he does not have these great technical verses on this album. Uh,
Mhm.
I mean, definitely not to the extent of like if you think Rap God or whatever, like where he's really trying to display this great prowess of skills and speed. It's not that, but you listen to the song, like I said, to me, the Sonny Bono line is still one of the funniest lines, and it stands out to me when I think of like bars that's a funny, like a bar that just sticks in my head. And he's not rapping fast, um, you know, he's just doing his kind of his thing. I think he loses that later just as because of everything that's going on. I mean, he's so big, he has
yeah,
no more mountains to climb and nothing to chase. And then you can't go
but he doesn't
outside.
do no
So
silly stories anymore. Well,
he's not. He doesn't have.
yeah,
What is his life? I mean, we've
I don't
heard
know.
from different people say this, and Royce has said this before. But the dude is being a mansion. He's a big star. He's a star where he can't go places. I guess. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't think he has anything to rap about, and I don't think he has inspiration to the extent of what we can see on this one, where you get with Dr. Dre. It's the chance of a lifetime, and you're able to get your ideas off with somebody that's going to give you a sonic backing that's going to make it work, even though it's different from what he was doing before too. And of course, Dre's going to see it as a great opportunity to, you know, make this stuff knock it out the park because it's a big deal for him. You know,
Mm-hmm.
he wasn't as big as he is now either. So it was a mutual partnership that was set up, and then the record label, of course, about to make a ton of money off of novelty of this white rapper. So his rapping style is novelty, and what he said, what he's saying is different than anybody else. So when this comes out in '99, early '99, what other albums are you bumping? That's like DMX is also crazy in a completely different way,
Mm.
and it's
Yeah.
big. Flesh of My Flesh came out December '98. So this was a complete different vibe from anything else that I listened to at that time.
Yeah, that's true. It is. I mean, it's definitely unique. I know. I had I had a couple of a few white friends growing up, and I know one of them, loved Eminem. Right? This is like one of the few rappers he listened to, and he would always want to play Eminem. And I was really on Kanye at the time, like when we were growing up. And he always would say, oh, Eminem's the funniest. And I always thought, I said, well, Kanye is funny too. Why don't you like Kanye? And so this is a thing that's always weird to me. I don't know. You know, for white people, I feel like I've had white people tell me the only rappers they listen to are Eminem. One of my friends said he only listens to Eminem and then Mike Shinoda from Linkin Park. You know, I'm like, why those two rappers? You know, like that's bizarre to me that those are the only rappers you'll ever listen to. And so I do think there's an aspect of like where like the rest of the hip hop community just doesn't respect Eminem because he has a fan base that I don't know that just feels like they're outside of the rest of the hip hop community.
Well, I mean, that's true. I mean, he's gonna get, the record label, of course, pushed him anywhere they can push him at. So I don't know how much of that is him and how much of that is the record label doing his job to make money. He gets a part of that money for sure. But when he's making the songs in the studio, is he sitting there thinking, "Oh, this is gonna play good with the whites. That's who I'm trying to get." Like, I don't think that's the case. I don't think Dr. Dre was like, "Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make this weird ass beat that only white people listen to." Like, I mean, maybe.
Yeah,
You know,
no, I don't think it's his fault. No, I don't think it's his fault. I mean, and no other white rapper. I don't think he's also. I also don't think he's famous just because he's a white rapper. Because there's no other white rappers that are at his level. I know a lot of white rappers that never, blew up like that. So it is what it is. But I think let's give it our final rating. So Bryson says 7. B, what you got?
it's like a 8.5. If they didn't have so many skits, maybe a 9. I like this album more than I thought I did. So I'll probably say like an 8.5.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give it an 8. Some of the songs that I think are funny, I'm not replaying, and that's kind of a thing. I mean,
That's fair.
I'm not replaying.
I'm
Like
definitely not putting on what you call them in the car. Like, I never meant to give you mushrooms, girl.
right, exactly. I'm not playing. My fault. I'm not playing like
I'm
a lot of the
sorry.
only songs I'm really replaying. Like if I said songs that I would listen to in the car are Brain Damage. If I had Role Model, Rock Bottom, and just don't give a F, and still don't give a F.
Okay.
Right. So I think that's about like half of the album.
See, I don't know what the.
Oh,
I mean,
Bad
my
Meets
my
Evil
crack.
too. Bad Meets Evil too. So that's
Yeah,
still
yeah.
over half the album. It's over
My
half the album, and I would still re-listen to. It's just a few that I think are
yeah, yeah. I'm not. This is not a car album, but
yeah
I like this album. I listen to these songs. And if you need some energy and you want to hear about some girl that's too messed up on shrooms, it's funny. You turn it on. I still love a role model, man. That's like the only song here I still play consistently for this whole time. In and out of my rotation throughout the years. I just crack up at almost every line of that song. I've been with 2 women that got HIV. So stupid.
yeah.
That's funny.
So let's jump into like and subscribe and tell us what you like down in the comments if you agree, disagree. Do you think that this album is a classic? Do you think this album these songs are replayable? Do you think it's whack? Do you think it's funny? Let us know.
And are you an Eminem stan that's gonna rep hard? Because like we had some Jigga stands that was writing paragraphs on paragraphs. So you M fans got to show up for this.
Yeah, for sure.